Hey everybody! I'm back again with another recap of how second term of CRNA school went. It seems like just yesterday I was talking to y'all about the first quarter, but time does fly by when you're having fun. Last time my interviewee couldn't make it in person, so we had to FaceTime, but I think this time she has a few minutes to spare, so she can come and sit and chit chat with us. Say hello to my better half, Nina. So, how are you holding up? Well, this quarter was definitely harder than first quarter. I felt like the last term it was more like, okay, we're going to get back into study mode. And now that you got the hang of it, this quarter was just like they just pushed a ton of information your way. We had a test since every week since the third week of the quarter, which I think contributed to making this term harder than the last term. We also had things happen outside of school, like people getting sick, family members becoming ill or dying. There was stress from financial aid, and so many other things. My classmates and I are pretty close, so whenever something happens to one of us, I think it affects all of us in some way. What's nice, though, is that I feel like my classmates are really resilient, and we were still able to encourage one another and smile and laugh and have fun throughout the trials of the term. What was your schedule like this term? So I had Monday and Thursdays off, and I had classes Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. But don't be fooled. Every time they give you days off, it's usually like a study day or cram/review day. So those days were still pretty full, even though I didn't have classes. I was still able to live holistically this term, which I'm super thankful for. Physically, I was able to still exercise with my buddy 3 to 5 times a week, go to the gym, kind of work out my muscles. Let's see. Emotionally, I was able to still invest in the things that I love, like socializing, videoing, puzzling, dancing, and enjoying the outdoors. And spiritually, I was able to still keep a Sabbath every week, which was tempting sometimes to not, but I was still able to get things done, even though I kept the Sabbath Fridays evening to Saturday evening. And I was able to make more friends at the church, kind of slowly start to build a community, and thank God for everything that He's done. So I think that was it was a really good holistic term. Thankfully, with time management, I was able to do that. That sounds pretty awesome, actually. What classes did you have this term? I know you mentioned before to me that you had 4 classes. I did have 4 classes this term. It was physiology, principles, pharmacology, and statistics. Physiology was a lot of information taught by 3 different teachers. It was hard because we had to adapt to each teaching style whenever we switched. We learned about a lot of things. We first started off with cell physiology, the neurophysiology, cardiac physiology, and then pulmonary physiology. We had a total of 4 exams, and it's probably one of the harder classes that I had to ever go through because it was just difficult to kind of adapt to each teacher, but also I honestly think the only reason we survived that class was because my classmates and I helped each other learn as much as we could. There's just a lot of information in a short amount of time, and the teachers did the best that they could, but it was still a hard class. Principles was another class I had. It was fun because we actually got to tangibly practice skills that we would be using as a CRNA. We learned about anesthetic techniques, the pre-op assessment, basic airway management, induction, advanced airway management, positioning, the environment that we'll be working in, hematology, electrolyte disturbances, perioperative fluid management, so forth. We had 3 exams in this class and a cumulative final exam. We also had something with the skills checkout. We had to show that we were able to kind of at least talk through the steps of what we would be doing as CRNA from pre-op all the way to the positioning and maybe even emergence and stuff. So that was really good practice. We actually had 4 additional lab days where the teachers were able to show us the skills. I spent about 11 hours in lab that was scheduled, and an additional 16 hours in lab to practice my measly skills and to record educational videos. This was by far one of the most applicable classes that we have had so far, and I'm excited to learn more in the terms to come. Pharmacology was still the same as last quarter. Thankfully, since we know the teacher's lecture and testing style, it felt familiar for my classmates, and I'd have the class again. It was still applicable and a hard class, but well worth it for an amazing teacher. We learned about neuromuscular blocking drugs and local anesthetics and autonomic pharmacology. We had 2 tests this quarter. We'll actually have the 3rd exam and a cumulative final next quarter. The people we're watching the videos streaming from, the teacher, he does a semester-based classes, and we have quarter-based. So we actually divided up this class between the last 2 quarters. So we'll be doing a final for this class next term. Statistics. This was a class that not everyone had to take. Since I did not take this level of statistics recently, I was one of the 9 people who had to take it. We learned how to use SPSS and so many other statistical tests. The 2 things that made this class bearable was our extremely patient and generous teacher. He gave us tea and cookies, yay! As well as the funny jokes and videos that my classmates shared with each other. It wasn't a bad class by itself, but because I felt like it took time away from my other classes, I'd recommend people taking this class before CRNA school starts if you have a chance to. If you can't, it's totally doable. You just have to be diligent with the assignments, quizzes, discussions that we do each week, as well as studying for the tests. We had a midterm and a final in this class. Thankfully, he was super nice. We were able to use notes. It just takes a long time to find the notes, so I would recommend you guys doing Control F to find the keyword. Yeah, so this is the quick rundown of my 4 classes this term. How were you able to have fun this term? I get asked that a decent amount, actually. It's kind of a miracle that I was able to get the grades that I did with all the things I was doing outside of school. Praise God for that. I honestly think time management is key. You make time for the things that matter the most, and everything else seems to fall into place. I get easily distracted, so what I do is I usually divide up my day into chunks of time. Like, I'll study here, and then I'll do something like me time here, and then I'll study again, and I'll do something else. Of course, you have to balance that with the daily chores and making food and school time as well, but I think it was pretty manageable. I did not use a planner this term because I only had basically tests to study for, it wasn't a ton of assignments. So I think next quarter, though, I will. I do recommend using a planner or have some way to organize your day just so you can kind of keep track of everything that you have to do. I usually, if my family's in town or if my friends want to FaceTime or whatnot, I try and make that a priority because the support system is super important to me to be able to survive any kind of hardship. And investing in people is something that you will never regret doing. So that's one way to have fun for me. I make sure to have me time or do something fun every day, even if it's just puzzling, which is fun, by the way. Or, me even making YouTube videos. Obviously, you guys know I like to make YouTube videos, and even though it takes up a lot of time, I think it's all worth it in the long run when I see the end product, and it helps to work a different side of my brain than the technical medical side. So it's always good to keep things fresh and don't just do the same thing every day. I think that helps with having fun. And having an open mind, if people invite you to events and you have time, and it's okay to step away from the schoolwork because this is the only time I'm going to be in CRNA school. God be willing. And I want to be able to make the most out of my journey here. Time is going by so quick. It's already been 6 months. I have 2 more years to go. So, be open to events and trying new things and making new friends. And yes, I think as long as you have a reason to keep smiling every day and enjoying the journey of life, I don't see how you wouldn't be able to have fun in any quarter of CRNA school. So thank you so much for taking the time to come talk with us and share about how second term went. I know I appreciate it, so hopefully other people will too. Yeah, good luck with the next quarter. You got this, and all your classmates got it too. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining us for a second term recap. I hope you guys like the video. If there's any other questions you want answered, feel free to holler at me. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at n232 for weekly highlights. It's the good, the bad, and the ugly parts of CRNA school. Yeah, just guess I'll see you guys next term. But thank you so much for your support. It means a lot. God bless.